As economic problems continued to grow in the United States, more and more people began to protest the events that were occurring in the nation. Massachusetts, unlike the other states, decided to try and raise the taxes on land to pay off its debt instead of printing more paper money. Farmers tended to own a lot of land, but really didn't earn that much money. And so those who couldn't pay these new taxes were forced to either give up their land or ended up going to debtor's prison. One farmer, Daniel Shays, which was also a former captain of the Continental Army, he led a group of other angry farmers in a rebellion throughout Massachusetts that closed a lot of the state courts and marched to the federal arsenal, which is a place where weapons are stored. And the Massachusetts state militia had to try and stop Daniel Shays. Eventually, the Massachusetts militia is going to be successful in stopping the rebellion. They had requested federal assistance, but it never came because Congress had no authority to help. Congress didn't have a standing army, and they had to rely on other states to provide a military. So even though Massachusetts asked for help, they never received any. Eventually, the militia was able to stop the rebellion on their own, but Shays Rebellion, what really was important from it and was significant was the fact that the weaknesses of the Confederation government could no longer be ignored, right? They could no longer stop this rebellion, which couldn't really respond to Massachusetts' call for help. And luckily, the rebellion was stopped. But if something grew and continued to grow, then really the Confederation Congress would have no authority to be able to help what was going on in the country. So because of this, the people eventually saw that something needed to be done with the government the way that it stood. And that's why the Constitutional Convention eventually was called in May of 1787 in Philadelphia to try and revise the Articles of Confederation and make them more efficient.